Hey guys, this is Eric here, and today I'm going to be talking about how to stay motivated and what to do when when you lose motivation as a musician. I think it's pretty notorious as a musician to kind of go through these ebbs and flows of being highly motivated, highly passionate, followed by deep dissatisfaction for where you are in your musical journey. Uh, for me, I know that I get really impatient with wanting to be better than I am and always seeing these other people that are better than me as a player. And so I just kind of want to riff on that. And so this is, if you guys are new, I'm uploading this to my Eric Rinehart Piano TV YouTube channel as well as my Musical Minds podcast. So you guys are all Musical Minds listeners now on whatever platform that you choose to watch this. But anyway, so I just want to outline the narrative of what was going on for me this last week. It's Monday right now, Musical Monday, and probably about last Wednesday and Thursday, I was starting to really experience some low motivation and not even really want to play at all. And so there was a couple telltale signs of why this happened. And so to outline those, the first major thing is I have like a chronic history of using stimulants to like coffee and caffeine to elevate my mood, and so I went abstinent on caffeine again for last week, and inevitably my motivation takes a little bit of a dive whenever I do that. And then the second thing is I was really forcing myself to play these hand-in exercises, which I really despise. And so if you're a piano player, you probably know what hand-in exercises are, and they're pretty boring, or they're pretty bland, but they get every single finger moving, and it makes your brain work hard, but it doesn't necessarily feel like music. And I was just forcing myself to play these for the very first thing that I did on piano every day, and I realized that like if I am not even willing to play piano just because of that, I might as well just skip the hand-in and technique exercise and just go right into the music that really speaks to me. To me, that is Chopin and Romantic era classical music, and I find that if I have to walk this fine balance of progressing myself in a technical sense and working and striving to be a better player than I already am through Bach music and hand-in exercises, anything that develops technique, scales, arpeggiation, everything. But then if I work too hard at that, what ends up happening is I end up losing my motivation to want to do it, because inevitably it takes a lot of willpower to get that to be done. And then it makes me almost not even want to play the piano at all, and it makes me kind of forget why I want to play piano in the first place. The reason I want to play piano is to be able to play these beautiful Chopin etudes and Chopin Nocturne Ballade, like Rachmaninoff's Love Sorrow arrangement. There's just so much beautiful music out there, but you really have to have this stepping stone of like building up your playing and everything. So so that's basically the premise for why I was feeling pretty unmotivated at the end of last week. And so I just want to outline some things that I did over the course of the weekend to really kind of get reset and remotivated to start my week. And I'm pretty excited to start playing again this week, despite I have a little hurt finger, my index finger, from playing a little bit too much yesterday. But okay, for starters, whenever I get pretty unmotivated to play, uh, and I get kind of locked into the way music should be, or um, just a particular genre. I found it particularly helpful. I went to a concert on Friday and I went to a concert on Saturday. On Friday, I went to this bel canto uh, choir. It was maybe 20 to 25 very professional singers, male and female, in this amazing church, the Napa Valley Methodist Church, where I've had my recitals a couple times, and it was absolutely amazing, um, and just kind of something that I would never listen to on my own, and so that was really a gratifying experience. And then the second thing is on Saturday, I went to my Bay Area piano enthusiasts meetup group, and I didn't perform then, but I just went and watched, and there was 10 pianists that played, and some of them played some of my most beloved music, a Chopin Nocturne, Opus 48 number 1, um, the Chopin Ballade number 1, um, and that just like really filled my cup and kind of re-inspired me. Seeing so many really great players, hearing music produced by other people, and realizing that I'm not alone in this process of musical pursuits, and just kind of getting outside of my own limited perspective. Um, I think it's pretty common and probably very natural for a musical, or like a musical person or an artistic person, to go through these bouts of ebb and flow, and um, highly inspired, followed by just being detestful for what you're doing, and wonder if you're really actually solving anything or you're creating any good in the world. So, um, so that's about where I'm at right now on Monday. There's one more thing that I wanted to talk about. So, yesterday I had to play a gig. It was 3 hours at this restaurant in Napa called Heritage Eats, and I know the owner pretty well, Ben, and so I brought my keyboard, and it was an event for children. So I played a lot of lead sheet music off of out of like a Disney book. So I was playing like Mulan and Lady and the Tramp, and Under the Sea, Little Mermaid, Winnie the Pooh, and everything. And it was really gratifying to see these children kind of like, they were like dancing, and like they'd get a smile, and then they'd come over and like press a note, and you would see their eyes just light up. So um, yeah, and that really filled my cup a lot, just to know that I was like playing and I was serving, and my music actually mattered, and that it was impacting their day, impacting their experience. So yeah, so basically now, even though I kind of hurt my finger from playing so much, I'm gonna take it easy for maybe today, uh, tomorrow too. Maybe just do some single hand work on the piano, and then I'll get back to learning my Chopin etudes. I have a couple of performances this week. I'm playing Grand Valse Brilliant at a recital, and then I'm playing a Prelude and Fugue by Bach at the end of the week for Mother's Day. And so just having those performances also kind of helps with motivation to practice, or else when you get to the performance, it's not going to go as well as you'd hoped. So just lining up performances for yourself and having something to work towards. I have a whiteboard in my piano room, and then what I did is I've outlined, so it says every single performance that I have, And so it writes those down. I write that down, and then I also write down my piano goals for the week, what I'm going to focus on, um, what songs I'm going to give the most time to. And I think that has kind of given me a little bit more focus rather than just feeling like there's so many songs that I need to know and learn. And so, in closing, I think the big message is just have patience for yourself, because developing musical talent and skill takes a long time, especially if you're like me and maybe started playing or studying music when you were in your early 20s or even later. If you started when you were not 5 years old, for example, like all those people who started studying when they're 5, they've put in the hours and the hard work. And so just have faith that you're gonna put in that time, even though it's later in life and you have a job and you have other things going on, and you have real life situations, taxes and car troubles that you have to deal with, and groceries, and cook for yourself. So just have patience for yourself, um, and come back to the things that you really love about music, and make sure to incorporate those into your daily routine when you're playing piano. If you enjoy vlogs on the topic of psychology in music and performance, then you can hit the subscribe button in the bottom left. There will be links to my website, Eric Rinehart Piano, on Eric Rinehart Piano TV YouTube, and then ericrinehardtpiano.com. And if you're interested in Skype lessons with me, you can message me directly at musicalmindspodcast@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to do like a 30-minute free Skype consult, just kind of figure out what your motivations are, and how I can help and how I can direct a program, and just make sure that you are on the right path. Because if you're on a path but you don't know where it's going to end up, then you might not like where you're going to be when you end up. And so in music, there's so many different paths and things to really specialize in. So know what it is that you're working for. Know like what inspires you and what you enjoy doing, and really make sure that you're working towards becoming that. So in closing, this is Eric Rinehart, Eric Rinehart Piano TV and Musical Minds Podcast. It is a musical Monday, and go out there and practice your heart out. Get ready for the weekend where you're going to have some gigs, maybe. Anyway, take care. Bye-bye.